how can the average military family earn 1 million Chase or American Express points? How did Jamie do it? How did I do it? You're not going to earn 1 million Chase or Amex points with a 1% cashback card. You're just not. That's why it's important to focus on the 3 things we talked about. So welcome bonuses, referral bonuses, and then category maximization.
Welcome to the Military Money Manual podcast, where every episode is all about achieving financial independence in the military faster than before. We believe personal finance shouldn't be boring or intimidating. Building wealth can be simple, and financial freedom is the ultimate financial goal. Now, here's your hosts, Spencer and Jamie.
Welcome back to the Military Money Manual podcast. This is Jamie, and I'm here with Spencer Reese from MilitaryMoneyManual.com. And today we're going to talk about how to earn and how to spend 1 million points with either Chase or American Express.
Yeah, that's right, Jamie. I've got the Ultimate Military Credit Cards course. I've been running the course now for over 5 years, I think, 2018, 2019, something like that. 100% free, no spam, unsubscribe anytime. I just like to tell people that because I do take your privacy seriously, and
we hate spam too, so...
Yeah, absolutely. I unsubscribe from stuff that I'm not getting value out of so fast. I don't need to know that the pet food's on sale. I'm going to just buy the pet food. But I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to add value to your life. So I just started a new Card of the Month series. So for the next year, I'm going to highlight some of the lesser known cards out there, but all of them, except for the business cards, waive annual fees for military service members and military spouses, thanks to the Military Lending Act and Service Members Civil Relief Act, SCRA. So there's no need to worry about the annual fees on those cards. Today on the show, we're going to actually address not the lesser known cards, but talk about the heavy hitters. We'll be talking about the Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Platinum card from American Express.
I think those are the 2 cards that almost everyone knows someone that's tried to get them to sign up for the Amex Platinum or the Chase Sapphire Reserve. And there's good cards for that. And in upcoming episodes, we'll talk about why and which order to open up cards. But like Spencer said, Military Lending Act covered borrowers get these cards for free, both you and your spouse. And so these cards are popular for a reason, especially in the military community. A lot of value there.
Yeah. And Jamie, that's the MLA is going to cover active duty, like we talked about, military spouses. So if you're married to an active duty service member, and then an active duty guardsman or reservist that's on 30 days or longer active orders. So I know guys that, they open up the cards while they're on active, Title 10, Title 32 orders for the guard or reserves. And then when they go off the orders, they wait a couple months and then they go back on orders. This is all, legal. Nobody's, scamming orders here. But they can, they can kind of plan their career around making sure that they're always getting active orders every year so they can keep these annual fee waivers going. And then their spouses as well. Once they're on active orders, the guard and the reserve, the spouses are going to be eligible for the annual fee waivers under the Military Lending Act for Chase and American Express. So like we talked about at the top of the episode, we're going to be talking about the big programs out there. That's the Chase Ultimate Rewards. You might also see it called Chase Travel Program. And then the American Express or Amex Membership Rewards Program. And JB, today we want to talk about what's the value of 1 million Chase or American Express points. And I don't want to scare anybody off here if you're like, dude, I just opened up a Chase Freedom card. I got 20,000 Ultimate Reward points. Hey, start dreaming big. I mean, it seems crazy to say, Jamie, but multiple times throughout my travel hacking and credit card journey, I've either reached 1 million American Express points banked or 1 million Chase points banked. And I know you recently hit some of those milestones yourself.
Yeah, so I am a regular guy and I don't have a business where I sell credit card or anything like that. I just got to 1 million points from Amex this year in 2024 for the first time. And it was through mostly welcome offers and referring friends here and there and a little bit of strategic spending between my cards. But probably 90% of it was welcome bonuses over the years. So it can be done. It's not just something that Spencer or someone at his level can achieve. I'll upload a screenshot of my Amex page after hitting 1 million to our Instagram page when this episode posts.
I know. I'm proud of you, Jamie. That's quite impressive. I get guys and gals emailing me all the time. And they're like, hey, I'm going on this big trip and I'm signing up for this Delta card and this Delta card and this Delta card and this Marriott card. And I'm like, okay, that's great. But Chase points, Amex points, do you have an Amex Platinum card, Amex Gold card? And a lot of times they're like, no, I'm just focusing, on these Delta Sky Pesos. Well, they call them Sky Miles, but they're pretty worthless.
That's a travel hacking joke if you didn't get that one.
And, for me, it's tough because I'm like, man, like even if you have a specific airline that you want to fly, a lot of times it's more valuable to go get the flexible credit card points rather than the ones that are locked into a particular brand, whether that's a hotel brand or that's a airline. And once that trip is done, like let's say you earn enough Delta miles, you get to book, your beautiful honeymoon to Hawaii on Delta from Atlanta, and you and your new spouse, fly out there, fly back, return. Okay. And let's say you have 100,000 Delta miles left over. Those are stuck. Those are Delta miles for the rest of your life. And while they're not going to expire, they are going to devalue. And that's something that we've seen happen a lot in the points and miles game, is the devaluation of programs. And it's kind of like inflation. It's kind of just like the companies realize like, hey, we've got, too many points and miles out there. Those are liabilities. We got to kind of clear our books. So a hotel room that costs 50,000 points a night now costs 60,000 points a night.
So both Chase and Amex, Spencer and I value at 2 cents per point. And you'll see maybe some slightly differing opinions about that online. Through the travel portal, you can at least get 1 cent per point on Amex. And for Chase, you can get 1.5 cents per point. Today, we're going to assume that everyone agrees that they're worth 2 cents per point. And we're going to talk through a little bit about how powerful that is and how to earn them. Spencer, can you start with an example of a Chase welcome offer and what the rate is and how many points we might get and what that looks like as we work towards 1 million points?
Yeah, sure. So just to frame the conversation here, the way that you earn 1 million Chase or American Express points is not spending $1 million. I mean, you can. And people have businesses. I mean, I remember one time there was a website out there and they were spending over $1 million a month on Facebook ads. And if you just think about that, like you just run that through an American Express card or a Chase card, you can earn 1 million points a month, but you got to spend $1 million on Facebook ads.
Which is not realistic for the average military family at all.
True, exactly. So let's step back a little bit. How can the average military family earn 1 million Chase or American Express points? How did Jamie do it? How did I do it? And it comes down to 3 things. Number 1, welcome bonuses. Welcome bonuses are your most powerful tool for earning Chase and American Express points. Number 2, referral bonuses. You got friends, you got family, you got a spouse. You can refer those people and they can open up their own card. And oh, by the way, if they're a military spouse or they're active duty themselves, they're going to get their fees waived. So this is something that we have to keep banging the drum over and over again. But it is important because people I get emails almost every week and they say, hey, my spouse is an authorized user. Should she open up her own card? Well, do you enjoy travel perks? Do you enjoy $15 a month of free Uber credit? Do you enjoy $200 a year of annual airline fee credit? Then yes, she absolutely should open up her own card. And so we talk about welcome bonuses, referral bonuses, and then finally spending categories maximization. And all we're referring to there is if you're going to be booking a flight, first of all, you should probably be booking the flight directly with the airline and not going through Expedia or any kind of those big travel portals. And you want to use a card like the American Express Platinum card that earns 5x membership reward points on flights booked through amextravel.com or directly with the airline. So, and we'll get into an example here in just a minute. But to start off with, welcome bonuses. Okay, let's talk about how powerful these are, because I don't think people are doing the math in their head and realizing that especially if I'm in the military, I need to be opening up cards, not constantly, but as often as I am comfortable with. Here's an example. 90%, let's say 90% solution is you can earn 1 million Chase or Amex points just with welcome bonuses. The greatest bang for your buck comes from these bonuses. So as a real world example, the Chase Inc. Cash right now, it's a business card, but I just use it because the math's easy. $750 cash back when you spend $6,000 in 3 months. That's the current welcome offer. So if you just take that as cash, that's 12.5% effective cash back. That's pretty good, right, Jamie? I'd be pretty happy. If there was a card out there that said...
It's better than the average cashback card for sure.
Way better than the average cashback card, right? But if you pair it with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you can move those points from your Chase Inc. Cash card to the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, and now you use those points through the Chase Travel Portal for 1.5 cents each. So all of a sudden, that $750 becomes worth over $1,000 and you're getting an effective 18% cash back. Okay, now we're talking. That's pretty good. But what if you transfer those points to, let's say, Hyatt or United or another travel transfer partner? You could earn up to 2 cents each. And now you're looking at double that initial 12.5% effective cash back. You're looking at 25% cash back on your spending. That's crazy. That's where it gets crazy. And that's why I want people to focus on the welcome bonuses and opening up new cards. If you can handle it, if you can meet the minimum spends, all of our caveats apply. Like, we are not advocating for credit card debt here. But what we're saying is, if you can be earning 25% cash back versus a 1.5% cashback card, why would you not go with the 25% cashback card?
For example, with the Amex Platinum, sometimes there are targeted offers or offers available that are out there for 150,000 membership reward points. And I talked to a family the other day that they were looking to fly overseas with a family of 6 total. And I said, hey, you open up your own Amex Platinum card as the spouse, put all of your airfare on there, and then now you're earning that 5 points per dollar that Spencer mentioned on airfare. So let's say you get 150,000 points and an 8,000 spend requirement on the welcome offer. You're going to get an extra 40,000 points for the airfare for 8,000 times 5 points per dollar, plus the 150,000 that you earn. So you're going to earn, in this case, 190,000 total for 8,000 of spending. And at 2%, that's a 47.5% effective cashback rate. And if you do value Amex at only 1%, that's still almost 24% effective rate, which is insane. Even if you get, quote unquote, only an 80,000 point offer, which is still a great offer and is out there a lot of times for a lot of people, it's $6,000 spend requirement. Typically, that's 13% effective rate, which is way better, like we said, than the traditional Navy Federal or USAA or any other bank's cashback card that they're pushing. So again, the welcome bonuses are where you're really going to make the bang for your buck on your spending, and you're really going to accumulate your points through the welcome bonuses.
Yep, absolutely, Jamie. So welcome bonuses, your biggest bang for your buck. Number 2, to earn $1 million Chase or American Express points, referral bonuses. And I just want to emphasize here, so most of the time, some of the best offers, welcome bonus offers, are through referral bonuses, and you can refer your spouse. So a lot of people get hung up on this because they're like, well, what if, he's already on my account as an authorized user? That doesn't matter. The credit card company wants a new customer. That's why they're offering you a referral bonus. There was this thing back in the day where people were sending themselves referral bonus links. Okay, obviously that violates the terms and conditions. Don't do that. But if the person that you're referring has a different social security number from you, a different birthday from you, a different name from you, then yes, go ahead, send them a referral link, especially if it's your spouse, because then you're going to earn the referral bonus and your spouse is going to earn a welcome bonus.
We talked about this in detail in episode 26 over 2 years ago, way back in the day, on specifically how to refer your spouse or your friend or your coworker through the credit card referral links with both Chase and Amex. So you can go back and listen to that episode, and we talk you through exactly where to find the links and where to click through in the app or the web browser. We talk about incognito mode and checking your offer from your phone and your desktop computer as well. So all of those tips are in that episode.
All right, and then finally, Jamie, so we talked about welcome bonuses. We talked about referral bonuses. At the very bottom is spending category maximization. So, if you are going out to dinner with your crew or with your coworkers and everybody's pulling out their Amex Platinum cards and they're all impressed and they're all checking out each other's Amex Platinum cards. Okay, that's great. But if it's a restaurant, you're only going to be earning 1 membership reward point, 1 Amex point for every dollar spent at that restaurant. Whereas if you were using your Amex Gold card, the American Express Gold card, you're going to be earning 4x membership reward points for every dollar spent. Same thing at U.S. grocery stores, and commissaries that are overseas usually count as U.S. grocery stores. So U.S. supermarkets. So you can maximize your spending categories. And they can be as simple as, let's say you have a couple cards. Maybe you put a little sticker on a card that says, hey, this card for gas, or this card for a restaurant, or this card for groceries. For myself, I've almost completely simplified it. If I'm booking a flight, I use my American Express Platinum card. That's probably the most expensive things I buy every year are flights and travel. If I'm booking a hotel, I'm probably going to use my Chase Sapphire Reserve card. Maybe sometimes I'll use the co-branded card. Like if I'm staying at a Hilton, I'll use my Hilton card just to earn some extra Hilton points. But yeah, it depends. I'm not really too concerned about that. The main thing I'm worried about is flights. I'm either using the Chase Sapphire Reserve or the Amex Platinum card. If I'm not trying to earn a welcome bonus, right? If I'm trying to earn a welcome bonus, then everything's going on that card. So food, groceries, and restaurants are going on my Amex Gold card. But just about everything else, or Chase Sapphire Reserve. That's the other thing too with restaurants. It can also go on your Chase Sapphire Reserve card. You can earn 3x points. You can't put your groceries in your Chase Sapphire Reserve card and earn extra points. You're only going to earn the 1x points.
So Spencer, I think it's confusing to people sometimes when I look at like a Hilton Aspire card that says I'm going to earn 7 points per dollar on a restaurant, and the Amex Gold says 4 points per dollar on a restaurant. Why is 7 not greater than 4?
Well, it comes down to the value of the points, right? And you can go and like look at all the calculators online, but the way I think about it is just like the credit card, the flexible credit card points are usually the most valuable. Unless you're trying to earn a specific redemption, right? Like let's say like, hey, my honeymoon's coming up in a year and I'm staying at a Hilton and I need to earn the maximum number of Hilton points I can. Okay, yeah, fine. Use the card that's going to earn you the maximum number of Hilton points. But what if, let's say you're using the American Express Platinum card to book the flights and then you transfer your Amex membership reward points to Hilton and you actually earn more by using the correct card for the correct category and then transferring it to the hotel or to the airline that you want to. So it comes down to flexibility. What are you trying to earn and what's the value of the points? And you can do the math and you can be like, if I judge an Amex membership reward point to be worth 2 cents and I'm going to earn 4x with my Amex Gold card, well, I'm actually earning like 8% effective cash back by using it there. But if I value the Hilton point to be worth, let's say like 0.7 cents, or for easy math, we'll say a Hilton point's worth a penny and you're going to earn 7x, points on the Hilton card. Well, okay, you're going to earn 7 cents per dollar, but they're not as flexible. So maybe you like downgrade it a little bit. You don't have to make it too complicated though. You can just say like, I'm always trying to earn flexible membership reward or Chase Ultimate Reward points. And otherwise I'll, earn Hilton points when it happens. But I try to just earn the credit card flexible points.
Yeah, unless I'm earning a welcome offer or spending towards a specific redemption, like you said. Just a quick note from one of our sponsors, and we'll be right back to the show. Hey, Spencer, I've heard about this free Amex Platinum card for military service members. Where can I go to learn more about this?
Great question, Jamie. I've got the Ultimate Military Credit Cards course at militarymoneymanual.com/UMC3. It's a 100% free email-based course, and I explain exactly how to verify your eligibility for credit card annual fee waivers with the Military Lending Act, or MLA, and the Service Member Civil Relief Act, or SCRA. The Ultimate Military Credit Cards course is a beginner's guide to travel hacking and opening up your first annual fee-waived credit card while you or your spouse serves in the U.S. military. There's no spam, no fluff, and the only emails you'll get from me are related to military credit cards. You can unsubscribe at any time, and there's zero cost to you to sign up. You can sign up right now for free at militarymoneymanual.com/UMC3. Again, militarymoneymanual.com/Uniform Mike Charlie 3.
And now back to the show. Okay, so we know how to get to 1 million points, but like, why is that a goal, and how valuable is 1 million points with either Chase or Amex?
Yeah, so for American Express, well, let's talk about it cash value first, right? For Chase, it's pretty straightforward. Chase points can be cashed out through chase.com. They can be cashed and they'll literally send you a check. I'm not sure if they do direct deposit, but I know back in the day, Chase just mailed me a check when I cashed out my Chase Ultimate Reward points that I earned through my Chase Freedom cards. That was back in 2011, 2010. And it's 1 cent per point. So 1 million Chase points is worth $10,000. I mean, what's the Roth IRA contribution in 2024? $7,000, right? So that is a full Roth IRA contribution for the year. And then you're almost halfway to another one for if you're lucky enough to have a partner. I think that's fantastic. I mean, like $10,000, that is a lot of money for, I mean, just about everybody. Like there's almost no one there that's going to say, if you walked up to them on the street and you're like, hey, do you want 10 grand? They're going to be like, no, I'm good. Like, even Jeff Bezos, right? Even Mark Zuckerberg's and be like, sure, I'll donate to my charity. Like I'll take 10 grand. Like, why not? So the Chase points, $10,000, pretty straightforward calculation there. For American Express, you can cash out Amex membership reward points through the Platinum card from American Express for Charles Schwab. So it's also known as the Schwab Amex Platinum card. So you have to have a Schwab One or Schwab brokerage account to apply for the card. But once you have it open, it's pretty simple. I've got one.
Which is a free checking. It's not complicated to get either of those accounts. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's no required minimum deposit. I have like $100 in mine and they've never called me out on it. So yeah. So then once you have that card, you can, and all of your Amex points can be combined. So if you have the Amex Gold card, the Amex Green card, the Amex Platinum Vanilla card, and the Schwab Platinum, let's say you earn, 20,000 points across all of them, boom, they all get merged together. You now have 80,000 Amex membership reward points. You cannot combine membership reward points between spouses. That's like what catches people up. But it's still worth opening up your own card, even if you have different pots of points, because you can combine those points at certain travel partners. So the value of the points it's not to be underestimated, as we're talking about today with 1 million points. So you can cash out Amex membership reward points through your Charles Schwab Amex Platinum card, and it's worth 1.1 cents each. So 1 million Amex points would be worth $11,000. Holy cow. If you're a married couple, that's $7,000 to your Roth IRA, and then your partner gets to throw $4,000 into their Roth IRA. So it's like right there. Like, I hope people like wake up when they hear this, because it's like, dang, this isn't just like, I mean, yeah, sure, you can, and we'll talk about this soon about like how you can travel, how you can like have some great experiences, with these points. But also, if you're the kind of person who's like not attracted to the Instagram influencer, travel hacking lifestyle. Okay, well, like what if I told you you could earn these points and then you could max out your Roth IRA for a year? Like, would that interest you? And especially if that money's invested for the next 30, 35, 40 years, like I could run a compounding interest calculator right now, but I just know like your money's going to double every 7 years approximately, right? Invested in, a low cost, automated, diversified, simple index fund like a Vanguard S&P 500 or total US stock market fund. So what's that? Like 5 doubling. So that's like 7, 14, 28, 56, 112, maybe over $200,000 to like $250,000 that you just set aside for your retirement by maxing out your Roth IRA today. That's really good. I hope people hear that and recognize you can do a lot with these points.
Yeah, it's a move the needle amount of money potential for sure. So Spencer, let's say that someone who is interested in traveling, I mentioned this already, through the travel portal, that Amex has one and Chase, they each have their own travel portal. Amex, you can redeem at 1 cent per point. So 1 million Amex points would be worth $10,000 towards your travel bill on American Express travel. On Chase, in their travel portal, it's 1.5 cents per point. So it's about 50% better than Amex. So 1 million Chase points, for example, would be worth $15,000 of travel. So now that's significant cash towards your travel goals for sure. And that is just the easiest way to redeem them through their own travel partner. You can always find better values by transferring to their partners. And you mentioned this already. Can you give us a little more details about what transferring means and how much value you can get if you explore some transfer partners?
Yeah, so transferring just means that you take your Chase points. Let's say you're in Hawaii and you want to fly to Japan. You want to fly to Tokyo. We'll use American Express because I know that you can transfer those. So you just log into AmericanExpress.com. You go to the membership rewards page and you go find the transfer section. You have to link your account. So you have to put in your frequent flyer number in there. So I have like frequent flyer numbers for airlines I've never even flown. And it's just because sometimes you want to move points to a certain travel partner to then book another airline. This happens a lot. Like, let's say you want to fly in Air New Zealand. Air New Zealand is notoriously hard to find availability through their own Air New Zealand AirPoints system, but they do release seats to United occasionally. So you can log in to united.com and then book your seats on United, and you could transfer the points from chase.com, from the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal, to United, your United frequent flyer account, and then you can book the flights through there. So this is where you get the most value. And this is when, like, when people are talking about, like, hey, open up this card and you can earn, thousands or tens of thousands of dollars of value. This is where they're getting those numbers from, is from transferring it to travel partners. I mean, one of the simplest ones is Hyatt, right? It's a hotel, but they have some pretty expensive rooms, and you can transfer your Chase points to Hyatt and then book those rooms. And I frequently find some really good availability. We actually just did this the other day where we moved, I think it was 40,000 points for a Hyatt down on the South Island of New Zealand. And it was like $2,000 a night, right? So right there, you can take 2,000 divided by 40,000, and you can see that, oh, wow, like you're getting 5 cents per Hyatt point. And that means if you move your Chase points into Hyatt and then make that redemption, you're going to get 5 cents per points of value. And so all of a sudden, if you have 1 million Chase points, it's not worth $15,000. It's worth $50,000, right? So that's where it's like, holy cow, that gets crazy. And, the best redemption I ever had was an Amex redemption at 11 cents per point. So I transferred some American Express points to ANA, booked round trip, Honolulu to Tokyo on ANA, first class. I mean, it was going to be like super Gucci. Of course, COVID hit and we never got to take that trip. But the tickets were like $27,000 or something. And I got an 11 cent per point redemption. Now, at that point, like the numbers are kind of made up. Like no one is going out, like very few, like there's almost no one in the world that's going to drop $27,000 on, 2 8-hour flights, round trip. Like that's just insane. Let's just take that number for, example, 11 cents per point. If you cashed out 1 million American Express points on that ANA flight, you'd be getting $110,000 worth of value for those tickets. I mean, that can still buy a house in a lot of states. It's at least a significant down payment, in most places in the world. It is a bit of an accounting trick, but I do think that there is actual like real value out there and in these points. And a lot of times people just like aren't recognizing, like if I'm staying in a $2,000, like a $2,000 a night hotel room, it just hits a little bit different than a $200 a night hotel room.
One of the easiest transfer redemptions I ever made was we actually flew some family friends out to Hawaii in 2021 or so when we were stationed out there before. We bought them on United via Singapore Airlines KrisFlyer is their frequent flyer. And it ended up being 15,000 KrisFlyer points per person. So 30,000 per person round trip from Newark, New Jersey to Honolulu, Hawaii, which is insane. Like you can't even fly domestically for 30,000 points round trip on many airlines. So it does take a little bit of work. And in a couple episodes, we're going to share more about a new tool that Amex has released via point.me, amex.point.me, that makes it a little easier to search for redemption fares. You put in a little bit of effort and find these redemption partners, and sometimes it's incredibly rewarding.
I think like when people are trying to value, like, okay, how much would 1 million Amex or Chase points be worth if I transfer them? I mean, 2 cents per point, that's a pretty good redemption. That's what you and I, Jamie, have kind of talked about, is the value that's in our head for these points. And so that would make 1 million Chase or Amex points worth $20,000. And, I think 3 cents per point is a great redemption, and 5 cents is just like, is outstanding. I mean, that's just crazy. And, as an example, let's say you're sending a family of 4 from New York City to Italy on Emirates Air. It's a fifth freedom flight. It goes from JFK to Milan, MXP. And you can go business class round trip for just under 700,000 Amex points, 696,000 to be exact, and $800 in taxes and fees. Each of those tickets has a $4,000 cash value for that round trip flight. Even taking out the taxes and fees, you're getting about 2.2 cents per point, and that makes your Chase or Amex miles points, which you can transfer Chase or American Express or Citi or Capital One. You can they're all transfer partners of Emirates, and that makes your 1 million points worth $22,000. So it's pretty incredible. We started with the cash value of 1 million Chase points, which is, $10,000 or $11,000, depending if it's Chase or American Express. But once you start bringing in the travel transfer partners, you start unlocking these crazy valuations. And, oh, by the way, because you're not spending that money on these tickets, on that travel, why don't you take the money you didn't spend and max out your Roth IRA? Why don't you take the money that you didn't spend and fully fund your emergency fund, or look at some other investment options for yourself, or start digging into financial independence? I mean, check out my book, The Military Money Manual, Practical Guide to Financial Freedom. I talk about in there how if you want to achieve financial independence, if you want to achieve financial freedom early, it's your savings rate that matters. It's how much you can save. And so if you're not spending money on travel, if you're not spending money on hotels, if you're not spending money on flights, but you're still getting to have those amazing experiences with your family, why don't you take the money that you saved by using points and put that to work for yourself? And before you know it, I think you'll be shocked at how quickly you can achieve financial independence.
That right there, I love, because it's the intersection of our really two passions and kind of the themes of our episodes and things that we keep talking about is how to combine great experiences and investing for your future. And this is one way to do it. If this seems intimidating to you, don't worry. Like, all of us had to start somewhere. You can do something as simple as Googling Amex travel partners or transfer partners, Chase transfer partners, and you'll find the list of airlines, hotels, and other things that you can transfer to. And just maybe try this year to book one hotel night with a transfer partner. And like Spencer mentioned in the course, militarymoneymanual.com/UMC3, Ultimate Military Credit Cards course, he walks through more of the details of how to earn cards and welcome bonuses and which ones to get in what order and things like that. If you're intimidated by the idea of 1,000,000 points, don't worry about it, because these same concepts will apply at 100,000 points or 200,000 or 300,000 points. And if you choose to stay at that level and then redeem right away, then that's great. It does not have to be an all in or all or nothing, whatever's best for your family. If you're going to go on a vacation, maybe you can use your points to cover the hotel, or maybe you only cover your airfare, pay cash for the hotel, and then take some of that money that you've saved and either invest it for yourself or use it for an experience that you wouldn't otherwise be willing to spend. But now you kind of have this money freed up. So it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You have some options with how you choose to do it. And don't be intimidated by it. It is a little bit of a learning process, but you spend an hour or two kind of digesting the course and understanding all the information out there, and you'll be ready to go on your first redemption.
Yeah, I just want to leave everybody with, like, you're not going to earn 1,000,000 Chase or Amex points with a 1% cashback card. You're just not. And that's why it's important to focus on the three things we talked about. So welcome bonuses, referral bonuses, and then spending category maximization. And then if you're able to do those things and you're able to accumulate, and it doesn't have to be 1,000,000 points. It can start as simple as 10,000 or 100,000. This all works. It's just different scales. And just recognize that those points have value. So don't go and waste them on 0.7 cents on Amazon, or don't go and waste them on something that isn't going to be bringing you value and isn't going to be creating a memory. And just remember that, the cash value of these points is about 1 cent. The travel portal on Chase, 1.5 cents, or on Amex, it's a penny. And then the transfer partner value, we kind of benchmark it at 2 cents per point, because if you're getting lower than that, you might as well just go book through the travel portal. And if you're going to get higher redemption value than that, like 3 cents per point or 5 cents per point, now you're starting to really unlock the value of these points. And you're probably going to be able to unlock some really awesome experiences that can create some really awesome memories for you and your loved ones. And you're going to save somebody along the way, which is going to enable you to achieve financial independence, financial freedom that much quicker. Hey, if you got value out of the podcast today, a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify is the best way to say thanks. And you can reach out at Military Money Manual on Instagram. Thanks so much for listening. We'll catch you in the next episode of the Military Money Manual podcast.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of the Military Money Manual podcast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. This helps others find the show, and we really appreciate it. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
The views and opinions presented here are those of the speakers and do not necessarily represent the views of the DoD or its components. Reference to any commercial products or services does not constitute DoD endorsement of those products or services.